Hello, it's Dawn. Welcome to the Spiritual View. I am here to give you your messages for the beginning of the week. The Spiritual View is going to be doing a 777 portal, and I hope that you will do that with us, and that will be at 11 a.m. Eastern on July 7th. So we hope to see you there. We also have our Thursday Night Lives where we do a little bit of astrology advice for the weekend, and then we take a look at what people have as questions in our live audience. So please join us for that. That is at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. So this is a big week when it comes to Mercury. Mercury yesterday on Sunday was in opposition to Pluto. You don't want Pluto looking straight at you. So what I will say is today on Monday, Mercury is entering its shadow. Oh, we had some stuff fall out here already. Okay. So what is the overall energy? Choose wisely. Yes, because Mercury, the thinking, the decision making is all in Leo right now. And today, entering its shadow, there are things that we need to watch out for. There's good things about this as well, but let's take a look at what you don't want to do. You don't want to use the fire energy of Leo and speak out angrily in public. That would be one way of looking at it. The other thing is using Leo's creativity in some way, whether it be writing, and that would be a perfect way to utilize Mercury, because it will be moving away from the opposition, but on the 18th, when it comes back to this 4 degrees, it's still going to be in close enough opposition back to Pluto. So it's almost like I feel the hardest part of this Mercury retrograde is going to happen once it gets closer back to Pluto again midway through. So that would be in more towards August. So at the end of the July, as August is starting, it's going to do its turnaround, be in that opposition with Pluto again, and then move forward. And that is when you can straighten things out. So it's going to be a long retrograde from the feel of it for me. I don't fear Mercury retrogrades. I know that they're lessons for me. This happens to be going over my North Node at 8 degrees, almost 9 degrees of Leo. So yeah, I'm going to be feeling this because it's also in my perfected house for the year. So it's in my third house, which switches on my solar return on my birthday in July. So here we go. What do we got going on for this week? Choose wisely. How are you going to utilize this Mercury energy? So why is this happening? Two cards came out. So I'm going to take them both because they make sense. They make sense in this particular question. Why is this happening? We are being asked to think differently. We have a lot of energy coming up. There are big changes in the collective and in our own personal lives for the next 18 months, right? It'll be another year of us having the North Node in Pisces about spirituality and the South Node in Virgo. How are we too critical of ourselves? So we do need to think differently. And that is the beginning of the swords, and that's the ace. So different ideas. Also, this is a great time to use Leo's energy for coming up with new ideas. Now, you'll need to have time to work on them, and that's what the Mercury retrograde, I believe, is going to be about for you. It will make you work. It will make you dig down deep because it's going to come back to that opposition with Pluto. But that's transformational energy. So once it goes finally direct again, I think you'll be really amazed at what you've developed. Always give your planets a job. Utilize their energy for your greatest benefit. The other thing that came out with it was the King of Swords. It's like choose wisely. There isn't anybody that's more discerning then this Aquarius energy of the King of Swords. So if you have any decisions that you have coming up, really look at the facts, really pay attention. Let spirit be your guide. Really give yourself time to look at all these energies that are going on for you. I like that. So why is that happening? Because we do have some decisions to make. What do we want to do? What is our next best move going forward? For some reason, they want to volunteer, so I'm going to let them do that. Okay. So what is our best next move forward? This is my favorite Hanged Man right here. My very favorite in all the decks that I have. This is my favorite Hanged Man. We have to take a pause and look at things differently. Maybe it's the entire time of the Mercury retrograde. We're thinking differently. I think that is the key. And especially with this energy of this Uranus coming into Gemini, thinking differently. So I think this message seems to be wanting to prepare us for what's coming. What is coming? And I think it's very funny that Spirit is choosing this as like, think, think. And this is taking a pause and thinking and making wise choices. Now, choosing wisely was the seven of cups energy. And I also got the energy of rock, paper, scissors, right? So instead of leaving it to chance, really look at your options. And again, she's like looking for inspiration. I think that this is a great time to focus on what is out there and what synchronicities you're finding and what messages that you're finding and new numbers that are coming in that are repeating. And what are you thinking about when that 111 shows up or the 444 shows up? I think you need to utilize that energy. So that's very interesting. What are the possible blocks for us? What are the possible blocks that are going to be coming up for us? I know that you want to volunteer. Okay, I got it. Now this is very interesting. The message that I got when instantly I looked at it. Normally the 9 of Cups is that wish granted energy. And the message that I got was, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. That's exactly the message that came in. It was really kind of funny. I think that there's nothing wrong with expecting the best. But Jupiter has a tendency to overpromise. And I do want to say, for those of us who are having the interesting Jupiter's in my second house, but I wanted to let everyone know that Jupiter has been very busy dealing with the square to Neptune and Saturn when it initially came into Cancer. So it'll be about the 15th of July when actually it will show some benefit for us. But don't overthink what Jupiter can do for you. It is going to be beneficial, but it's a year long. And I would say look at those energies of what you may have in Cancer as a planet. I think that you'll find that Jupiter being in squares to the cardinal signs is going to be interesting energy. And what can you do with that planet to, I get the impression very strongly that it's learning. It's learning whatever, say you have Jupiter in a square to your 9th house. Okay. That could mean that you might be wanting to learn a new language. Something to that effect. Take a look at the meanings of the houses that Jupiter is squaring and any planets in those houses. And that will be how you can utilize Jupiter's energy to the best effect. But it's like, yes, there are good things coming. Yes, there are good things coming. But Jupiter always overpromises. And you're like, yeah, It was good. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but it was good. I mean, and that's the energy that you get with Jupiter. So I just want to have realistic expectations when it comes to Jupiter. So, what is the final advice from Spirit? It's kind of funny. Um, okay, a little bit more. Okay. I saw a card pop out, and then it's like you see a card pop out, and then the message comes in. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see. Let's unload this little bundle of things that popped out. Okay, this is the Five of Pentacles. And to me, the message that I got is, to me, this is always some kind of a higher authority, whether it's government or the church or corporation. They're not really, this key, I don't think unlocks that door. I don't think that if anything happens, that is going to be where help comes from. I just don't think that's going to be the case. And what else came out? This is so crazy. We had the Tower. The Tower. So this would be definitely Uranus energy. This is very now energy. So if something is happening and you get one of those things where a pipe bursts in your house, anything like that might just pop up unexpectedly, you can't rely on the insurance companies and other people that are supposed to do what they're supposed to do. It's like that Jupiter over promising and under delivering. But I think there is going to be Tower moments coming up, and messages are going to be coming in very quickly. Eight of Wands. This is very, very, very fast energy. And this would be Eight of Wands, which can be 8 weeks for timing. We have a lot of stuff coming up in the next several weeks, and I think it's important to this is so Mercury, and then Mercury is going to be retrograde, and Uranus is, there's just a lot going on. Uranus is going to be coming into Gemini, also about the way we think. We are going to go through some very amazing changes in a very short period of time. I'm convinced of it. So be discerning. Be discerning. The last card came out was Justice. And if you look at the timing, this is a Libra card, but Justice to me is always the decisions that you're going to be making, with that King of Swords energy, the decisions that you're going to be making. I think you have to view it with the idea toward, will you be proud of the decisions that you're making now? Because they affect our children and our grandchildren, our children's children's children. How do the Indians look about making decisions for 7 generations down, right? What are the next 7 generations going to be? How can I make that best decision? And I love that this is, she looks to be a very wise woman in her reflection. So I think if you take the time and don't get rushed making your decisions, because I think that's what the Hanged Man was about for me. Don't get rushed making your decisions. Be discerning. Use that King of Swords energy. Think about things in a new way, because the situations that are coming up astrologically are things we've never seen before. So there are going to be a lot of surprises ahead. Let me get one. I did have this come out, which I found very interesting. This is the Destiny card, and it came out not too long after the 7 came out. So this is a 10, Destiny. Let me check what this card is here. Number 10, Destiny card. Dun, dun, dun. Good luck and fortune are now in your favor. A cycle of change, success, and growth is imminent. Life ebbs and flows in its natural journey. And good karma has come full circle. So I think there's a message here at the end that I remember coming up with this card because I pulled it for somebody. Believe in destiny as you learn to let go of old issues. And take advantage of all your opportunities. And don't always rely on luck. So I think this is a really good final message that we do have a very momentous future ahead of us. And we're going to be the wise ones in this. We're going to be the people that are making decisions. And people that watch this channel are light workers. But part of being a light worker is we don't banish the dark. We don't turn away from the dark. We go deep into that root so that we can go higher, so we can understand. And I think that is a lot of what this is saying is we're going to really need to understand ourselves in a very deep way and allow ourselves to move forward, understanding all of our faults, all of whatever the darkness is that it's, the darkness is going to exist no matter what. But if you go down to the darkness and you look around and go, wow, it is really dark in here. But you know what? There aren't any monsters here. Not anymore. So think of that as your message for this week. I will talk to you soon. Bye.